Hello friends, James Stevenson here, answering the question, does Tesla have a demand problem in Europe? I'm joined as always by my co-host, Loki, and this episode is also an episode of Breakfast with Loki. So let's get Loki his breakfast. Okay, here you go, buddy. There you go. Enjoy your food. I'm going to give you a couple of kibbles to get you started. There's one. Have some breakfast, Loki. Alright, so either he'll eat or he won't eat. One of those things will happen. And while he does that, I'll share my desktop with you and show you a tweet that I sent yesterday. Some believe Tesla has a demand problem in Europe. Meanwhile, Europe.autonews.com quietly, and I mean very quietly, reported this list of the top 10 premium BEVs sold in Europe in 2022, full year. So we're not cherry picking a time period. This is the most recent full year. Tesla outsold the 3rd through 10th place finishers combined. So if you think the competition is coming, well, I mean, here's the chart. I'm going to click on this and we can look at it. There, that fills the screen pretty well. I did actually set that up ahead of time to make sure it would fill the screen exactly right. Because I don't often do a tree map chart, but in this case it seemed like the best thing to do. And if you're having difficulty figuring out, hey, the number 1 and number 2 selling vehicles were the Tesla Model Y and the Tesla Model 3. Combined, are they more than 50% of this total area? And the answer is yes. If you add this number to this number and then subtract all of these numbers from that number, you will still have a positive number when you're done, meaning that these two represent more than half the total contributed by all 10 of the top 10 selling premium battery electric vehicles in Europe combined. Now, if you're saying that you haven't seen this chart before, that's because I just made this chart yesterday, right before I tweeted it. So what I'll do next is walk you backwards through time and how I got to it. Here's the data source, which I have sourced. I put the entire path to it because if you just say automotive news or Europe.automotive news as your source, people aren't going to be able to find it because automotive news puts out so many articles every day, you'd never figure out which one it was. In this case, this is just a PDF of a report that doesn't even have an article with it that I just happened to find looking around for some good reporting on what the total sales were by electric vehicle in Europe last year. This was the best thing I found. So the left side of the page is electric, pure electric, battery electric vehicles. The right side of the page is plug-in hybrid vehicles that also have a gasoline engine on board. So what's really interesting is after giving you the top 10, so here's the Tesla Model Y and here's the Tesla Model 3. They're in the premium electric vehicles category. Both of these outsold any of the vehicles in the electric volume category. So this is where you'll find the Volkswagens, Fiat, Skoda, Dacia, Peugeot, Hyundai, Kia, and Renault, all in the volume category. In the premium category, you've got the Mini. I'm not sure I would have known to put Mini in the premium category. And then the other ones that make a lot more sense, Polestar, Volvo, Audi, BMW, Mercedes, and Audi again. So they've got a Q4 e-tron and an e-tron. And between the two of those combined, they didn't sell 50. They sold about 50,000 total last year. So that's good. That's progress. They sold less than that the year before. So you got a lot of green here. The only vehicle in the top 10 that was down from the prior year was the Tesla Model 3 because people are buying so many more Model Ys. If you add these two together, you'll find 170,000 combined in 2021. Forget the year-to-date here. This is full year 2022. How do I know that? From the path name, it says 2022-12 and then underscore update. So I guess they had a preliminary version and this is the final version. But yeah, from 170 last year to 230 almost. Yeah. Right around. So I did put this into an Excel spreadsheet. Let me find my Excel spreadsheet. Well, I'm not sure I have the right one pulled up right now, but I didn't end up using it for anything except making that chart. I guess I have to bring it up if I'm going to show you the chart, don't I? Okay. So it's not here. It must be 2022 final EU passenger vehicle sales by fuel type. This is a totally different data source than I've used previously, so I gave it its own chart so you can tell this is the same one. I may not use this tree map format chart again. It's very limiting in terms of what you're allowed to do with it. When you go to the insert menu, everything is grayed out here except for a text box, it looks like. So not very many options they leave you if you tell them you want a tree map chart. But yeah, I duplicated exactly that same PDF that you just saw here. And yeah, it is almost 230,000 vehicles for the two of these combined. And then if you compare that against the rest of these, how much are they combined? 224,181. So Tesla outsold places 3 through 10 combined by more than 5,000 vehicles, which is, you know, not an enormous margin or anything, but come on, that's pretty good. So if you add those up, they don't total 638,000. What's going on there? There were another nearly 200,000 vehicles if you added up places 11 through N, however many electric vehicle models got sold in Europe last year. The ones not shown, the ones that didn't make the top 10, amounted to, you know, 180,000 or so deliveries. So really monumental when you look at the size of what Tesla is delivering, 229,000 versus these other segments. I mean, even the volume segment was less than 1 million in total. You add these two together, that's, you know, 1,577,000, which is what it shows up here in the total section. So a big fraction of the total, even including non-premium vehicles, which Automotive News calls volume. If it's not premium, it's volume, even though the volume is lower on the top two finishers here. So if you look at it in total, Tesla still took places number 1 and number 2, but did not outsell places 3 through 8 if you look at all including low-priced vehicles. All right, and with that, I think that's my video for today, so we'll check back in with Loki, who did not eat more than just his couple of kibbles. Maybe he'll eat later, and I will outro and say, if you've enjoyed today's video, click the like button. If you're not subscribed to my channel already, why not go ahead and subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell to get alerted whenever I post fresh content. Thank you to everyone who supports me on Patreon or by joining my YouTube channel, as my executive producers Kathy Kitchler and Halter Ferguson Financial did, at the highest support tier, earning them a thank you at the end of every video, and I'll see you in the next one.